Good morning, Kirsten. So, yeah, mindfulness is so important in the practice. So, if I use knowledge first, practice later, or at the same time, knowledge and practice at the same time. So, practice here has also two categories. One is like a sitting meditation. So, I have done sitting meditation for 10 years. It's really good one. Sitting meditation means that you really do nothing. Sit quietly, do nothing. That's what I mean. Sitting meditation. That's the first part of the practice, which is really really important. The second part of practice is the mindfulness, which is compen- compensate the sitting meditation a lot. I find from my experience, if we start from the mindfulness instead of sitting meditation, it's really, really hard because the monkey mind jumps, from place to place, from one object to one object, from one memory to another memory, from this moment to another moment. That monkey, this monkey, I mean, the mind is really hard to train if we don't have any sitting meditation practice. Yet you can choose to use both sitting meditation plus mindfulness. So mindfulness I pasted here. There's so many contents in the mindfulness itself only. So I just repeat here. Mindfulness means to remember to observe how mind's attention moves from one thing to another. You see, we are talking, I am talking, you're listening. You know you're listening. I know I'm talking. That's mindfulness. You know you're sitting while listening. I know I'm sitting while talking. So basically, or you're mindful of everything you're doing, especially you're engaged, you're focused on. But mindfulness also has kind of two parts. The first part, we know that when we do something very important, we are very mindful. For example, we write a very important email, or we doing a presentation in front of people, or we just report to the boss, or any big event in our life, we will be mindful because we have to be mindful. Also in the sports, as if you're a driver of a Formula One, you're driving in a highway or like Formula One, so fast speed. One non-mindfulness will be fatal, right? So as a driver in Formula One, he has to be very, very alert, highly focused on the roads, on the signs, on opponents and so on. 100% present of what he's doing or driving. So we have tendency to be mindful, to do big things, but at the same time we have tendency to be not mindful while we do little things like washing hands, like brush our teeth, like walking from living room to you know living room to kitchen. When we are walking on the steps, we all these little things which don't need our which don't necessarily need our full attention. We almost wander, our mind wander off. Everybody know as we wash our hands, we don't need our full attention on our hands. That's the time our mind wander off. Yesterday, tomorrow, today, I have to do this, to do that, This thing I'm talking about, that's my topic today. To be mindful of doing little thing. Actually, this is my second time to talk about this. Once we can be mindful doing little things, definitely we can be mindful doing big things. And in Buddha's eye, nothing is big, nothing is small. Neither big or small. You see, okay, that's a total different perception. But as a normal person, and if we could be mindful doing little things, wash hand, brush teeth, walking from living room to the kitchen, definitely it will help you to be more mindful or 100% mindful while we do big things, like giving a speech, like or presentation in front of people. Make sense? And furthermore, I add, if you say sitting quietly doing nothing is a small thing, okay, then maybe that could mindfulness has a broader means both sitting meditation and mindfulness. Like now, your attention, your attention, your concentration is on the listening. I invite you to check in. While my attention is more on my speaking or talking, I need you checking, the awareness, to check from the moment to moment. Attention is the spotlight of the awareness. I need you to really understand it. Like a spotlight on a stage, it's a focus point. But attention could be relaxed too, as a white bulb, 360 degree of, illuminating. That's called open monitoring, right? Say, don't focus on anything. So the awareness is defocused, deconcentrated, like a white bulb. It's not focused. It's a field. It's a space instead of one point. Do you follow? Great. As a frequent meditator, this is the basic technique knowledge we have to grasp or master. Are you one pointed focused, or are you open monitoring? But today, our topic is mindful of doing little things. So it's more in the category of one pointed. While we're washing hands, are you focusing on the hands, on water, on soap, on the sensations of the hand. And in this very simple movements, there's a like a water. If you dissect this little simple action, actually there's a lot of small actions too, right? You may turn on a tap, push the button of the soap, put it in your hand. You see, all in one and one in all is really manifested in every aspect of the actions or movements. So, or in other words, we can always zoom in into a small one and make that small thing big. Zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. There's so many little different movements. Even, you know, like we can mimic the hand washing, up and down, up and down. You see, if we can be mindful of in these details or in such a scale or level, wow, the power of observation will increase or in exponentially. So the first part of mindfulness is to remember to watch the mind and remember to return to your object of meditation or doing, right? when you have when you have wandered off. So it means when you washing the hands, maybe you think about yes, what happened yesterday or not right. So you notice you wander off, you bring your attention back to the hand washing. So return to the object we are doing or we are focused on. Like now, you're listening. You know you're listening. That's kind of mindfulness. The second part of mindfulness is to observe how mind's attention moves from one thing to another. So attention again is like a spotlight on stage. Sometimes our attention changes so fast. Do you notice your attention change from moves from one object to another object? And like now, I invite you to have all your attention on the hands. Yeah, feel your hands. Now your attention goes to hands. Feel your hands. 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. Now I invite you to look at me. Look at the image on your computer or cell phone. Now your attention, the spotlight changes. Direction of the spotlight, like this on the stage, change from the hands to the image. And you notice that there's a movement of attention, right? That's the second part I'm talking about. And our attention moves from moment to moment. So, or we can ask, where is my attention now? Is on one object? Basically, from the five senses, the object of the five senses, it's an image, a sound, or smell, or taste, or kind of touching sensation, a touch, a body sensation, or our breath. So I include the breath into the body sensations. And sometimes, if you're calm enough, you can feel the heartbeat. To feel the heartbeat, we need to be still enough or calm enough. You see, mindfulness everywhere is everywhere actually. It's kind of awareness trying to understand the mind. Do you follow? If I say mind is the function or application of the awareness, mind like we can talk, we can reason, we can think, we can move our body. The awareness is behind all the movements, mentally and physically. You know where is the tension. You know the movement. Most time it's sometimes it's more physically, sometimes it's more mentally. And if you go to the check the Wikipedia's link, the the first paragraph, mindfulness is the practice of purposely bring one's attention to the present moment experience without evaluation. You see, we have talked about the first part, purposely bring our attention to present moment experience. Could be one object, could be a thought, could be a memory. It's like the awareness is always checking the mental activities or physical activities, checking, without evaluation. That's the second part of mindfulness. Because from the experience, we may have a lot of judgments, labeling, you know, habitual tendencies followed by that experience. This is good, this is bad, this is neutral, this is pleasant, this is unpleasant. I like this, I dislike this. You know, all this labeling or evaluation followed will follow that activity or experience. So, all you, or in other words, experience first, then labeling later. I just try to use the language. We have experience of seeing listening, or remembering any activity from the six senses, including the mind, especially the mental activities. So special. Why it's special? Because it's the boss. It's the boss. It's the conclusion of the five senses. Because the perception is different now. Same person experiencing two different person experiencing same thing may have different evaluation. So why? Because there's a habitual prints of values, try to value the current experience. Make sense? So mindfulness also needs to check the second part, your evaluation, which is related or associated with your backgrounds, your previous experiences, your habitual thinking, behavior, and so on, without evaluation. Or I will say, you see that evaluation too. Sometimes when we experience something, we have that spontaneously or instantaneously a judge or evaluation. You allow that evaluation arise instead of try to resisting. Oh, how can I have this bad judgment? You know, that part we should be mindful too. You see, the the later part of the first paragraph, Buddhist traditions explain what constitutes mindfulness, such as how past, present, and future moments arise and cease as momentary sense impressions and mental phenomena. First, we have sense impressions, and later we have mental judgments and evaluations or labeling. And later on, it shows the clinical studies um, have documented both physical and mental health benefits of mindfulness in different patient categories as well as healthy adults and children. We don't talk about this. There's huge tons of evidence that mindfulness is good for our health, not only mentally but also physically. And the practice, if we go to the second paragraph, practice watching the breath, body scan, and other techniques. Let's see if I can pick up the. And the timings suggested 20 minutes every day. You see, that's more for the sitting meditation. Mindfulness can be applied every moment, like now, like later. I mean, after this session, after you doing your trivial things, big things, small things, we always can be mindful, right? So in the Buddha's context, um, before the mind, so in the Buddhist context, the keeping of moral precepts is an essential preparatory stage for mindfulness or meditation. So again, if I simplify Buddha's teaching into three letters or three words, three characters, 戒定慧. Morality is the first, or precepts, what you should do, what you should not do. Generally speaking, you should be a good person, a kind person, to meditate, to be mindful. Make sense to you? Um, it's there's extreme cases, okay, but we talk more the general speaking. Yes, we have some moral precepts as we are a kind of good people to meditate, to be mindful. Then, so morality or precepts first as a pre- preparatory state for mindfulness or meditation. 戒, first part, 定or mindfulness and meditation. Second part, 慧, vipassana, wisdom. So vipassana is based on the mindfulness and meditation. We have talked about this yesterday. Vipassana or insights or wisdom is based on the stillness of the mind, or calm of the mind, or you are mindful of all the activities outside, inside, So vipassana includes contemplation. Once you have space between you, the awareness, and the object you're mindful of, or you're focused on, there's a space between the object and subject, right? So you, in that space and time, when there's a space, there's time. It's always space and time, always related. So when you have that space and time between the subject, you, awareness, and the object you're mindful of, then we could contemplate or reflect on the Buddha's teaching of wisdom or vipassana, like dukkha, anatta, anicca, causations, and other Buddhist teaching. You see the do you follow here? It's kind of complicated, huh? So you see, if we zoom in, there's always lots to talk. But while we zoom in, don't lose the sense of zooming out. Total balance. Like when you start a leaf of a forest, don't lose the picture of total forest. Then you can study the forest and the leaf, or leaves together. So back to the so three characters of Buddha's teaching, or simplified version: 戒定慧, morality, concentration, and wisdom. From that separation of the subject and object, we have the time and space to contemplate and reflect on the Buddha's teaching of the wisdoms, like suffering, like a non-self, like co-arising phenomena world, cause and effect, causation, emptiness. Buddha's teaching makes sense so well, so good, so profound. So if you keep watching the uh, the link of Wikipedia, definitions in psychology, so many, you know, modern teaching of meditation. If you go to the models and the frames for the mindfulness practices, here maybe something to be mentioned, need to be mentioned. Two component model. A two component model of mindfulness based on a consensus among clinical psychologists has been proposed as an operational and testable definition. The first component involves the self-regulation of attention so that it is maintained on immediate experience, thereby allowing for increased recognition of mental events in the present moment. Mental events, you allow the increased mental events in the present moment. That's the first part. The second component involves adopting a particular orientation towards one's experience in the present moment. What is that orientation? Characterized by curiosity, openness, and acceptance. That's what I'm going to say here. Curiosity, openness, and acceptance. With these characters, three characters, you allow whatever happened, especially mentally, in relation to what you have experienced outside. You see the picture here? What we have experienced outside from the five senses may generate a certain level of mental experience or mental judgments labeling. Yet we can see that mental activities or feelings with three characters: curiosity, openness, and acceptance. We are open to the mental activities, also to the external experiences. With curiosity and acceptance, we accept what happened, what is happening, what has happened. You see that? So actually, you see here remind me another Buddha's teaching of the wisdom, non-identification to whatever your experience is. For most of us, we trying to resist unpleasant experiences because we identify the feelings as me. It's my feeling, it's my sensation, it's it's my relation, it's my experience. We identify everything, especially inside, as me. It's me, it's my stuff. So we have that resistance to the unpleasant experience. A full acceptance only happens you see the emptiness of the external phenomena world and the internal mental activities. When you see the emptiness of both outside and inside, then you have that possibility to fully accept. You see, Buddha's teaching is so important and profound here. That's the emptiness, 空性 in Chinese, 空性, emptiness, voidness. Once you see the voidness or emptiness of the phenomenal world outside and mental activity inside, you have more ability or possibility to accept, to open your heart, to accept what has happened outside and inside without any resistance and attachments to. Resistance, you want to push away. Attachments, you want to hold it tight or back. Or two direction of the energy, or tendencies. Make sense to you? So once you can be mindful of that tendencies, pushing away or grasping, attaching, you may be free from that movement's tendencies. Most time we are not aware of these tendencies. Clients are asked to avoid trying to produce a particular state, but rather to just notice each object that arises in a stream of consciousness. You see the power of pure observation. You just like a watching. So we watch movies or news every day. It's like in the same way, in the mindfulness or pure observation, you're watching your movie in your mind. Also, including the external phenomena world. You're liking your watch a movie. There's no like attachments or identification when we watch a movie. That's a movie. That's a fake one. That's a it's even people died in a movie or in a TV show. In a film, the actor is still alive, so you don't have that heavy attachments to the contents of the movie. In the same way, if we can really have that pure observation of observing, watching the phenomena world outside and the mental activity inside as we are watching a movie, then we have that sense of non-identification. So you will accept more with openness and curiosity. Yeah. You see, mindfulness, if you really diagnose mindfulness in such a way, it's you just zoom in and find, oh, actually mindfulness is everything. It's like everything is connected, you see. And meditation or mindfulness is to increase our level of observation, pure observation. Pure means without any judgments, resistance, attachments. Make sense? Then from this pure observation, you have that power of contemplate, analyze. You can tell the difference between this movement and that movement, between this emotion and that feeling. Mindfulness or meditation is a bridge between the good people and the wise people. 戒定慧 morality, concentration or meditation, mindfulness, wisdom. So yesterday we talked about samatha and vipassana. Actually, samatha and vipassana is like the second part and the third part. Means concentration or calm of the mind, then wisdom. Yesterday we didn't talk about first part, morality or precepts. Why? Because all the educational system or schools teach you to be a good person, to be kind, right? All the culture, different cultures teach us how to be kind, how to be good to people. So I just skip that because morality is not essence or particular of the Buddha's teaching, except the samatha and vipassana is the Buddha's special teaching, which makes Buddhism or Buddha's teaching so different from other cultural lineage. Make sense to you? Yes, Kirsten said, good way to explain leaf and the forest. Yes, a lot of word to the person, especially when you are smart, you can study, you can zoom in to the details very well. But only wise men can zoom out to see the whole forest. What's the age of the zooming out? Is there any age? I mean, zoom out means if I use the cosmos as example, we can zoom if you are we can zoom out like you are outer space, like on a NASA outer spaceship. You can look at the Earth. Earth is just maybe a pearl in the ocean of cosmos. If you can zoom out again, zoom out to the Andromeda galaxy, you see the Milky Way as just a disk, right? You can still going and keep zooming out, zooming out, zooming out to the edge of cosmos, and you see whole cosmos. All the stars, planets are in your view. That's what I mean. You are standing on the edge of cosmos, studying having that whole picture of cosmos. Can you find your edge of that zooming out or view, seeing? That's a total picture. That's Some I used to use an analogy to look out. Our lifespan, say 100 years. Okay, our lifespan. 100 years is a long time. No. Comparing to who? Comparing to ant, to a insect, which is only lifespan is like month. We have very long lifespan. We can, right? But comparing to the cosmos, it's very short. So the theory of Big Bang, the cosmos have since the beginning of time, 13.8 billion years ago. So if you use that 13.8 billion years as a divisor, and on top of the division, there's a 100 years, just 100, divided by 13.8 billion years. Do you know how short it is? So if we can scale down the 13.8 billion years into one calendar year, okay, earthly calendar year, every second in this calendar year represents around 475 years. I repeat, one cosmic second in a calendar year represents 475 earthly year. That means in the cosmic eye, we only, as a human being, we only have 0.2 seconds lifespan. If we scale all the 13.8 billion years into one calendar year. Only 0.2 second manifesting in the total picture of cosmos. It's like a pixel in a movie. One pixel is one life, one human being life. One pixel, one pixel. How many pixels in that 70 inches smart TV? Now we have very big size smart TV, even 100 inches. We are on, if that smart TV is the picture of cosmos, we just is a one little pixel, shows up only 0.2 seconds in a movie we call cosmic movie, which lasts 1 year long. You only is a one little pixel, shows up a bubbles out 0.2 seconds, and you are gone. We are gone. You see that picture? When I was young, I lived in the countryside. In the hot summer, in the evening, I went to the field. And if it's hot enough, there's a lot of fireworms. Fireworms means, the worms with the flash on the tail. So if I'm lucky enough, you will see a field of flying fireworms, flashes. Sometimes it sinks too, flashes. One spot, one spot, one spot, one spot, one spot. Now I try to use that. Fireflies. Every human being in the cosmic canvas is a firefly. 0.2 seconds and arise and disappears so fast. Fireflies in the summer night. We are just like one little small flash. At this picture, you owe to every life, all the 7 billion populations, no matter how important you are, how successful you are, you only can occupy zero point 0.2 seconds in the whole cosmic life. Don't think you're too big. In the cosmic eye, we're so small. But wait, if you're awakened, you're not the body and mind, this little body mind. You're the whole entire ocean or a whole cosmic flow instead of that flash or pixel. You reach the level, you transcend the little body and mind to cosmic itself, to the life itself. We are not small anymore. You see that paradox? We are here using this body and mind, limited body and mind, to see the total picture. We are not fireflies in the sky. We're the whole sky manifested as fireflies. That's our purpose of life here as a human being. Now look around, look at your family, look at your colleagues, your classmates, your teachers, your friends. Look at the whole society. Look then at as these little fireflies in the cosmic canvas or cosmic screen or cosmic movie. I don't know. You feel awe. You feel the awe. Wow. A beautiful life manifested in a very short time. So you have that gratitude, or you have to cherish the manifestation of this short life. Like you cherish the cherry blossom in Japan or in every culture actually in the world. We cherish the flower blossoming, especially the cherry trees, right? Because why? Because it's short. Because of its shortness, then it's very with high value, right? Only 1 week or 2 weeks in whole year, the cherry tree will blossom, show its most beauty to you. Beautiful. Especially you can stand on a street full of cherry tree, two sides, and it's a long, straight tree with all the fully blossoming cherry tree at the two sides. You see, wow, so beautiful. With same feeling and sensations, you should look at the whole world with that sensation. Then you will make friends with everybody. Because the moment you see the shortness, the value, the beauty of human being or any other animals, it's a life. It's a short life. Yes, in this very short life, you see the immortality too. You see the infinite in a limited body and mind. Because now you see yourself as this infinity or infinite consciousness in manifested in a very limited body and mind. Once you can see yourself as this, you see everybody as that too. So you will cherish, you feel grateful, you will see every beauty everywhere. The whole world is dancing, vibrating around you, inside you. If you see that total picture, the millions, billions, and trillions of fireflies in the summer sky, wow, how beautiful it is. And every fireflower is manifesting as a flash, as a pixel in this cosmic canvas or screen or movie. You will say thank you, thank you, thank you. And fundamentally, there's no other and I. You thank yourself. It's crazy. You thank yourself. The ocean is appreciating the waves. The ocean is appreciating the ripples, the bubbles. In this appreciation, the ocean is hugging itself. You see, the whole world is you, and yet only you. You are play with yourself. You're thinking yourself. You are having fun with yourself. You suffer yourself. You make happiness with yourself. Everything is yourself. That's called non-duality. It's a realization of oneness. You are having fun or having sorrow or having happiness with ourselves, with yourself, in yourself, by yourself. It's crazy. Oh, it's crazy. Mind blowing. The egoic mind, individual mind cannot accept this. Oh, don't stop. Uh, the moment the individual mind claps, the ego, the ego dies. The Brahman is showing up. Hi, I'm here always. The Brahman. Yeah, ego death. Ego death is not you just see the emptiness, then ego dead instantaneously. Ego dies instantaneously when you see its emptiness. That's the power of Buddha's teaching. No educational system teaches you this. Emptiness, the essence of Buddha's teaching. When you see and perceive the emotions, the feelings, the sensations, the perceptions are all empty, then what left is what? You have to figure it out. That's the freedom. You see, that urge for the ultimate freedom is deep down in everyone's heart. And then we are born to have this nature. Is our universal signature. Signature is not individual anymore. It's a universal signature applied to everybody. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, maybe that's end for today. Be mindful of doing little things. In the practice, we show our gratitude to Buddha, to sages, to masters, to any being or any teaching that show us way, the freedom, the way of freedom, gratitude, appreciation, love, and wisdom. Practice of mindfulness and meditation is bring this gratitude, love, compassion, respect to the masters and Buddhas and sages into action. Practice is the action of love, respect, loyalty. You see? You see that non-duality? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time. By the way, I will be on a trip for 4 days. I will try to be online as soon as often or as long as can I can. I will have a trip to Kamloops, 3 days. Hope I can have a good experience. Bye now.